Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video here. We're going to take a look at Path of Exile 2, just do a little bit of comparison with Diablo 4 and, Diablo series in general. Take a look at where the game's at as far as development goes, the upcoming alpha and closed beta, which is supposed to be happening this year with the game slated to release in 2025. Originally, it was going to already have been released by now, but there were some delays. It wasn't where they wanted it to be, so they pushed it back a little bit. First off, if you guys don't mind hitting that subscribe button, really appreciate it. Helps me out. We hit 1,000 subs recently, so now we're going to go for 2,000. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the most recent trailer for the game, and I'll give you kind of some of my thoughts. I mean, the art style, the aesthetic looks really good. What I would expect from a dark, fantasy setting. Not really sure who this chick is.
And no exile will
not really impressed with her as a boss or, antagonist at the moment. But so we get a look at the current Path of Exile classes here in Path of Exile 2. They're all looking pretty solid. I really like some of the new classes and just the impact you feel from some of these abilities. I think that's something that's just really missing in Diablo 4. Like, look at the druid here. I mean, you compare that to the Diablo 4 druid, it just leaves a lot to be desired. The bosses here, I mean, they look dangerous, they look threatening, their moves are intimidating. It doesn't just put a red circle on the ground that you need to avoid. Well, I guess in that case it does, but these little cutscenes, you really get, just to see how menacing the boss looks. The combat roll looks good. There's just a lot of interesting, unique-looking enemies. It's got some like Dark Souls vibes, or some FromSoft vibes going on. Even to me, this just looks like what I would have expected from Blizzard when they created a sequel to Diablo 2. This is kind of what I would envision. 100 bosses. What does Diablo 4 have? Like 10? Or some of the bosses are just like bigger versions of a regular monster. Like, to me, that's not really a boss.
No matter the cost.
So that's gonna be the trailer. I mean, it looks fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. Let's take a look here now, just at in terms of where the game is at in terms of development. So this was from March 22nd. So originally the game was supposed to come out into beta, June 7th, which too bad that got pushed back, because that would be right around the corner. They're still planning to do an alpha test in June, with the beta most likely coming, quote unquote, towards the end of the year. So hopefully that alpha, will not be under an NDA. You never really know, though. It'd be nice to be able to get into that and get a little bit of hands-on time with the game. And then it sounds kind of like with the closed beta, I'm assuming it's going to be how the original Path of Exile was. You could purchase like a supporter pack. At the time, it was, I think, $10. $10 supporter pack got you access to the closed beta. At that time, when I first started playing POE, it was only through Act 2, and it was to the Veiled Temple. That was like the end game, or the pinnacle. So you'd go through that, and then there was like 7 difficulties at the time, or I don't know, something crazy. So you would just go through Veiled Temple, and then you could keep playing back through the game, and like the monsters would get higher level, etc. So now let's just take a little bit of a look at their website here. So I mean, I don't know who this character is, but he's looking pretty baller. Um, just very, very cool art design here. I don't know if this is a good guy or bad guy, a boss. I think this is like, you see this symbol in Oriath all the time. So, but he almost looks like a Dark Souls character, or Elden Ring, like something from Soft. Like this would be a boss you would fight in a From Soft game. So not sure if he's a boss or what, but he's looking pretty baller. As we go down here, we just kind of look. So, we're going to be traveling across the continent. There is, just like completely redone combat system. Uh, very, very new skill system as well, just with how that's going to work. So, here's some of the announced classes so far. We've got the Warrior, the Ranger, the Huntress, the Sorceress, the Mercenary, the Monk, and the Druid. I mean, the art style here, it's all looking great. I don't know what these other ones are. I don't know if it's going to be new classes or if that's for the original classes from the game. So, you can see kind of here how you're going to, in one of the previous videos, they talk a little bit about how you can like dual specialize. So you can set different abilities to like cast based off different passives in your skill tree. So you can have like a dual setup. So you don't have to be fully spec'd into like one damage type to completely take advantage of it. So that's really cool. Here we get kind of a look at an in-game character model. Close up, we've got just the classic like D2 character by the fireplace. Looking at some of the gear, I mean, again, the art design here is great. Flasks are looking pretty similar to what you would expect from a Path of Exile game. I was kind of hoping they would do some redesign with the flask system because it is one of my less favorite parts of the game. And then just looking at the gear here, so pretty typical as what you would expect from, Path of Exile gear. It looks pretty similar to things that you would see in PO1 right now, but the art style, the character model looks great. This design looks great, like the sprites and everything for the gear. It just looks really cool. Looking at here, it's talking a little bit about the end game. So just a little bit of a, idea of what to anticipate. So, 100, more than 100 end game maps. They each have their own boss. Similar, basically what we can expect from the Diablo, or sorry, Path of Exile 1 system. So, now just to kind of compare it a little bit to Diablo 4, like, I've been playing the current Diablo 4 season, and I haven't had a whole lot of time to spend in it yet. The game's definitely improved as to what it was. I really just, once Path of Exile 2 comes out, unless the new Diablo 4 expansion just really adds a ton of new content. I don't know. Like hopefully they add like multiple new classes. I don't think one class is really going to cut it. Like if they just add one class in this expansion and they're expecting that to like satisfy people's desire for what they want to see in like an ARPG, one class like that's just not going to cut it in the current day. Even Diablo 2 and Lord of Destruction got two classes in the expansion pack. So we're only starting out with five classes in Diablo 4, and if they think just adding one class is going to really like allow them to compete with POE 2, I think they're going to be in for a rude awakening. If you were there at the time when Diablo 3 launched, basically Path of Exile owes, I would say, 99% of its success to Diablo 3 failing. Like at the time, If you were there, it was a meme that everyone in global chat on Path of Exile was just talking trash about Diablo 4 and in Diablo 3. And then in Diablo 3 general chat, people would just be like, dude, this game sucks. Like, go play Path of Exile. Like, check out Path of Exile. Um, and at the time, like even then, Path of Exile was significantly less developed. Like I was telling you, it only had through not even the full Act Two. Like they hadn't even finished Act Two. You didn't like half of the quests weren't there. You just went and fought the Veil Oversoul, and like that was the end game. Like it had all of Act One and probably about half of Act Two, and so many people went to Path of Exile because they were disappointed with Diablo 3 and dumped all that money into the game that really is what kicked off GGG and allowed them to continue developing Path of Exile into the success story that it is today. So I could see that, very easily happening again with Path of Exile 2. Anyone that's not, really happy or fully satisfied with Diablo 4 is most likely going to check out Path of Exile 2. And just from what I'm seeing right now and, what I'm expecting, I'm definitely way more hyped up about Path of Exile 2 than I am about any future Diablo 4 expansions, unless they basically, you know, double or triple the content that's currently in Diablo 4. Like if they add in, I mean, here in PoE 2, we're getting like eight, how many is it? Eight new classes. And then like another, what, 20 ascendancies. So yeah, and I don't know what these other five are here. So it's just, the amount of content that's coming is so we're gonna have 12 character classes, and that may include the five from the original game. I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, that's more than double what Diablo 4 has right now. And then you add in the ascendancy classes, the skill tree or the passive tree from Path of Exile. You add in the customization from the skill gems and the socketing system. There's just so much that PoE 2 has to offer that Diablo 4 doesn't, that I just can't really see realistically that Diablo 4 is going to be able to compete with Path of Exile 2. I mean, it might be like, the casual gamer's choice for ARPGs once PoE 2 comes out. I'm not really sure like if it's gonna be that niche game where there's some people that still play it, or maybe some people will bounce back and forth between the two. But I think the majority of people are gonna focus on Path of Exile 2, just in my opinion. So that's those are kind of my thoughts right now, guys, on the game. Let me know what you're thinking. How excited are you about PoE 2? How excited are you about Diablo 4, like expansion 1 that's supposed to be coming out at the end of the year? Because it sounds kind of like they're both going to be launching more or less at the same time. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And remember to give them the D.